பின்னால் ஓடுறது சில ஆக்ட்ரஸஸ் பேரே தெரியாது, அவளை வந்து கட்சியில் சேர்க்கறது.
ரைட் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ஆக்ட் விவசாயத்துக்கே வந்து கிடையாது. எதுக்கு கிடையாது?
அது நிறைய டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல இல்லையா? ஆமா, டிடிடி இல்ல. அது தலைமையா இங்க என்ன டைம் இல்லை. இது எனக்கா ஒன்றும் பெரிய பெரிய பிரச்சனை இல்லை. நான் எனக்கு ஆர்டிஐ போறதுக்கு அவசியமே இல்லை. திருப்பி போக போறேன். அது வந்தேன். ஸோ டைம் இருக்கணும். ஆர்டிஐ இல்லை, எனக்கு ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இங்கே about to be graduate as a full-fledged lawyer. He's been associated with me, and we have been working on the temples issue together. And we are also joint authors in a book on Ram Temple. So I told him to come here because he and I are joint petitioners in a case in the Andhra High Court regarding the government ownership of government takeover of the financial administration of the Tirupati temple. And we have made some progress in that and waiting for the next hearing. What I think I should say is that I'm very happy with the reconstitution of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Board. I'm also very happy that Dikshatalu has been reinstated with full honors, and so the steps taken by the Jagan Reddy government appears to be very optimistic from my point of view, that it's possible that some of the massive corruption that has taken place in the past in Tirupati Tirumala temple can be rectified. One of the things we were able to prove in court, and we are awaiting the court judgment on, is the fact that in the last 5 years there has been no auditing by an independent authority of the accounts of the Tirumala Tirupati temple funds. And this is extraordinary because under the act which empowers the state government to take over the financial administration of Tirupati, it is required that an independent audit takes place on the accounts of the temple. This has been flouted by the previous government, and I have asked the Chief Minister that he should consider setting up a inquiry, an SIT, and to go into it and highlight all the misuse of the Tirupati funds, and also to start asking an independent auditor to audit the accounts of Tirupati henceforth. Of course, my main prayer in my petition is that Tirupati should not be under any government control of his finances or financial management, except for a short period in case there is some mischief that has taken place in the accounts. This is an outcome of the Supreme Court judgment of 2014, which was filed by me in the case of the government takeover of the Nataraj temple in Tamil Nadu. And I successfully was able to win the case in Supreme Court, where the Nataraj temple was asked to be restored to the pujaris, who were called the Dikshitas, who are in fact running the temple for almost 1,000 years on a family basis. So I am very keen that temples should not be in the control of governments. So that second part is on, and I've been saying to the government and to the Advocate General that mine is a public interest litigation, so I'm not an adversary of the government, I'm not an enemy of the government. If the government has a proposal on how temples can be as independent as the madrasas and the Waqf boards are, or the churches are, then I have no difficulty. Because today government only interferes in Hindu temples. It doesn't interfere, this is not only true of Andhra or Telangana, it's true of the whole of India. And then there's gross corruption that takes place, land of the temple is stolen, jewels of the temple are stolen, and there's no audit of all this happening. So therefore I thought I will express happiness. I will also say that many of the allegations of Christian takeover of Tirupati seem to be false stories. I personally investigated. First time when I intervened in this matter was when Subba Reddy was appointed TTD chairman, and there was a huge propaganda that he was a Christian, and his wife is a Christian missionary, and then I checked it, and then I had to tweet, in the Twitter, social media, I had to say that this is totally false story. Same way there are other stories which are being put out, and I think, in my opinion, the state government should now file a suit for damages for defamation henceforth, because these things are all creating bad blood, it is creating communal disharmony, and it is based on untruth. So if there is a truth, I'll be the first one to take it up, and but to make it all up, cook it up, and it appears that some of the political elements who lost the elections, they seem to be behind it. So I tend to take this matter up, also saying that such rumors should not be allowed to float, that one hill has already, there's one church coming, it turned out to be a photoshopped picture, and some picture which is very old is being put out, and all kinds of strange stories are being told. As far as I can see, at the moment there is no interference of the government in the running of the Tirupati, and the TTD new members contain many people who are independent. For instance, Govind Hari, then a member of parliament, Mr. Sinha, who is of the BJP, they have been nominated. And so I think with this kind of an independent body and a strong Hindu, plus your EO as he's called, Mr. Singhal and the others who have been appointed from the government, they also seem to be very fair-minded, upright people, and they are of course Pakka Hindus. I also investigated the large employment, 15 to 20% of Tirupati priests and those associated with the temple, a large percentage of Christians in it, and it turned out that out of 15,000 employees, or those on the payroll of the temple, only 44, most of them in the transport section of carrying goods into Tirupati and taking out goods, they have been there. But even there, the EO has made a statement now saying that they are going to remove those 44 also, who were appointed on compassionate grounds to other state departments of the state.
Priyanka Gandhi was attacked at Lucknow. Police.
She attacked the police. It's wrong to say that the police attacked her. She went on the back of a motorcycle without a helmet. That's breaking the law. She pushed and shoved. The police, they are all women police, they are not male police. And the male police, women police have given with eyewitnesses a affidavit on this. And I think Priyanka Gandhi should be prosecuted for this kind of unruly behavior. CAA, Citizen Amendment Act, is restricted to 31,313 people of Hindus, Sikhs, Christian, Buddhists, and Parsis. And these are people who escaped from Pakistan because of religious persecution and forcible attempts to get their these people's daughters married to Muslims, forcibly converted. So they left Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. And they have been here since long. And both the UPA government and the previous Congress government allowed them to live here permanently without being citizens. But when the BJP came to power through the NDA, with Atal Bihari Vajpayee as Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, as leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, made a speech for the first time asking that all these 31,313 or whoever were there at that time in the register, they should be given citizenship. And it was specifically mentioned in a Congress Working Committee resolution that non-Muslim illegal migrants should be given citizenship. Now the Congress has done a somersault. That is that is their business. I mean, that is between them and the public. But the propaganda that this is aimed at Muslims is totally baseless. There were no Muslims who left Pakistan because of religious persecution and came to India. Some Shias who were persecuted by the Sunnis in Pakistan, they went to Iran, which is a Shia country. Ahmadiyas went to Bahrain, but nobody came to India. Two prominent Muslims came to India, but not for religious persecution, but for the freedom of speech. One was Tariq Fateh, and the other was Taslima from Bangladesh. Both of them told our government that they would prefer to have citizenship of Western countries. So Tariq Fateh got the citizenship of Canada, and Taslima got it of Sweden. But we have only illegal migrants from Pakistan, not Pakistan anymore, but from Bangladesh mostly, and Afghanistan due to the war conditions there. But they come here for purpose of earning a living. They have not come because of persecution, but because they are unable to work, get any working opportunities in their country, so they are come to India and to work as laborers. But we found that those Hindus, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, and Parsis, or Zoroastrians who came, they could not get any job because they didn't have citizenship papers. They could not have an Aadhaar card because they were not a citizen. So therefore they were living in miserable conditions in the camps and not being able to get any employment, relying on state subsidies. They could not educate their children. So we thought that the best way to enable them to stand on their own feet is to give them citizenship. It was widely recommended before, and it was recommended by the Assam Chief Minister, Mr. Gogoi, who was a congressman. And now the Nehru family leftovers, that is Sonia Gandhi, her son and daughter, they are making a big drama about it and trying to make out that somehow this is anti-Muslim, which is utter rubbish. It is a desirable amendment, and we have done it. Now, as far as the other matters are concerned, no final document has yet come before Parliament. So it's too early to speak on it. But it is a fact that the objective of NRC is to get to know who are the illegal immigrants in our country and whether they deserve to be given citizenship because of the because of some human right excesses and entitled to be. There will be a strength to our society. And from our neighboring countries, we have got people who have come here to get employment and live here, not because of any persecution or any other human rights reasons. So that list has to be prepared. The Supreme Court has already directed us. They had actually originally directed Rajiv Gandhi's government. That did nothing. After that, UPA did nothing. So we have been warned that the Supreme Court warned us that they may even give us a contempt of court notice, and therefore our government decided to take it seriously. But it's still in the process of preparation. When the final NRC comes out, at that time you can ask me for a final opinion. Well, I mean, so what? I mean, he has no other work except just attack. I mean, he has to answer. They say RSS is fascist. But Sonia Gandhi's father was a soldier in Hitler's army. Why don't they answer that? Why don't you press people, ask them that? You never ask that. I'm telling you today that Sonia Gandhi's father became an ordinary soldier in Hitler's army. Hitler went and attacked Russia, and her father was taken prisoner, and he spent 4 years in jail and then came back. Sonia Gandhi's mother was a volunteer of Mussolini, who is the fascist. The Italians use the word fascist. Hitler used Nazi. And so this family is directly connected to the fascists and the Nazis. So they should explain first, have they lived down, have they disowned their parents, saying that because you sided with Hitler and Mussolini, we don't want to treat you as our parents. But they are giving us lectures on fascism and Nazism. Tamil Nadu, if BJP stands on its own legs, it has a future. But the present leadership of Tamil Nadu BJP is always running for catching somebody's coattails, and that's why Tamil Nadu, it will not come up. It's only when it stands on its own feet and gives an alternative ideology of Hindutva, they will come up in Tamil Nadu, otherwise they will not come up. Three capital possible, we have to select one only.
Amravati.
Only one, there's Amravati, no?
Yes, sir.
What three capitals? I mean, the temporary capital was there for Vijayawada, now it is, I think everything is moved to Amravati. So I don't know anything about it because I am not aware of this announcement.
Executive capital Visakhapatnam, legislative capital
Kurnool.
High Court.
It's just an announcement, no?
Yes, sir.
Let it come then.